Whoever prepared you for vetting did very well. These were the words of Honorable Mubarak Muntaka, the Member of Parliament for Asomasi constituency, as he wrapped up the vetting of Mark Okrekumante, Deputy Minister Designate for Tourism, Arts and Culture. Today, we assess the 2 hours, 20 minutes exercise. Did it go well? How did he perform? Were the relevant questions asked? Also, we'll look at the brouhaha between Arnold Asamoah-Baidoo and Shatta Wale. You remember what happened on United Showbiz? Now, guess what? Shatta Wale has released a song for Arnold Asamoah-Baidoo. It's titled Share. We table this for a riveting discussion on this episode of Bloggers Forum. I am Benefo Boabin Abrantipa. Welcome back. It's Bloggers Forum on Ghana Web TV. Today I'm here with Nanea Redu. He's with OnePlayAfrica.com. Anna Akwaba. Nice one. So Ama Bruni is on standby with Nkomo Oho, the tidbits in the world of showbiz.
So bit if you business you are on master channel say na what twin some akoso a medere ba no say ma no musia wo e betra me mama me mbongu me bibi so na menya kwan na ma kire mo say ma akoso entertainment industry ama broni ma be de na ma aba ma yen twa ye ho no yen bra sesi a na yen beto aso. And Speaker of Parliament said in Trebia Mamma, just a telenovelas echo TV stations, moon young what did you just a time war cry you, Namut TV and him say, my beshe, Saturday novelas ya echo so Ghana, Ochema, Sadia Mia Bebre to try a motion. And what Ochema, dear, will you TV so cry young culture? Into Beshe no beer and who did they shena. Speaker of Parliament in Sembe to Namakaso, objection, your honor, Asamoah Ukedi, and one a year Philly, and 1 year the entertainer when me and memory in Ashabi. A year first deputy speaker, a year Joe Wise, and also the Sembia to George Man, also in a here and a time create channel through me. So I tell novellas now walk a tree fason, so I chief voice of person. Obachana, you show any pay or dinner was or country, in a way and echo season. Into what is a said, Pamucho, Mubomadia, Namun show young contest, Namu share yet a novellas be Munana Montes, Namun Pegania movie, Bunamushe, Namu purchase mu ona mo pesate novellas no munjai sadin. Oh yeah, number 1 no. Oh yeah, number 1 no. So abama no. Kwabna nyom yo ma MPP ye na na do dan kwekufa 2016. Okay, presidential election nyom yo etwegu ni ade. Na ye de enim se nka 2016 MPP ba power idea. Na wa ye nyom enti se ama wodi anka anka botum be ye de ni ade. Kwabna kira one seat podi so. 50% say ya bomu tokrukra and before a family just all say nyom no ye ni for free na here kwabna this be betu na A+ asembe na wokan enya wo na miso wo nsade wo ko kenoforiata wo data bank na wo ko je sika hye wo ho je say nyom a wo twai video ya wo ye kwa ye ma wo sika wo ho ye san so ma wo bi se san fa ye promotion ade na A+ chemo sisi kan ho so ne so ya over 100,000 Ghana cedis asona me kanwa ase 100,000 on the ma wo kwamna say 5 years anyom ni na to begina na aka say wa ma scan na say kwamna yo trofo aso when di no kware ama no yo trofo ankasa na wo je scafe MPP ho ka no kware ne ye hu ne ekoso ene mama ye ntwe ankomene so em se mo am follow aye Dolores from Pomanso mo say this week you no make post bi so mo ankasa mo suggest obi no ankasa mbra show no so no be interview na say na nkomo no koye na nkofo tag nkofo na ba ana mo na nkofo bebre tag me so wo de ye show wa na betumi interview delay amayin na number hu no so very as no chema sa delay is I lady am hu delay be 2008 and I'm penny se ma be interview de bia na odi dodge or dodge delay hu se na nkomo no kono so no na ba na mo say ade ye death sentence wa also be interview de fan ye be hwe say de amafo hwe nim say eye delay be ma ne ho kwan na be interview na mafo kire ma say sa beba so de na eyi na be beja apo wo ho na wo questions an wa so ama delay de eseboni en so ka kire mafo say wo do need to familiar music industry has say record label wo ho so we artist na say wo ko join na bo hu musu na wo fi ma we wiye ne wo be try a wo nse de hu no show na links entertainment asem na mafukin na asem ye ekoso na Richmond sa okọ interview bi no chema sa asem na muka na enche da anya mpasa if you say links entertainment obeka se obefi honom no wo ye artist na sa wo sa label no so anwa kasa management ebo won homodin say obe promote nyom say omo baby bia ma wabo ama wa excel but say wo fi honom a say adwuma na ye den say artist ni nyina na etumi yesa wa wo hwe easy ofi ho asem su fi ho miss view su fi ho ba won say na asem so no de obo no homodin but amafuchema asa u feelings ana very wa baba ye basa bisa na Richmond sa chema wo bo homodin but adwuma ne de eso nti obi fi record label you are not expecting say ne ana na ekoso wo links nsa na be di abo anenti aya munja ka say u fi links ana wa baba ye basa o say enye sanet kom hade se wani mse wakasa de da che se bibi kwaso na je se ngofo apemini bi na wode abata ho Keche music group wan kasa May ya che se May 21 na Keche Andrew ni papa wi anso ha May 24 ya na Joshua's papa si wi na asem yi betu odwa na mafaka se uzi no tema wode ho akwaje skedru na ko fe se kana fu asem atoye ni na ye diare ho a sikadru asem be na ebe mu nkasa asem won papa na Nyankopon akasa Nyankopon abefre won nyina wo diare ho wodwen na eyi ntutu ye baba na mo kasa ye sikadru o se won pa chowa mu fe won si ha sei won fa won koje sikadru bi aye Nyankopon na nkasa na wa afre won simple obi be kasa we de ehu ankasa ehu ankasa King Promise wa wonim commando kambu te se ni de do so baby o chema uhunu sa no oye sweet guy also so todoma so wo hona so sure bi na won say we de na akoma akodi ne ho a why not bon say o ka say yes say na wa ye oba ye to ka teme Elsilama no chema ono de o todoma o ko all out o atete say abofra King Promise o chema ne do ye fankasa amafo de wa imagine say wa girlfriend one ne wo ho na afa de boy bi tire no ho uko bi say o chema o we do me best she ni best nsem ya mafo kire ma aya sa asem na wo kana munjendi Princess Shingle actress no den simba beso jo so je say onipa na girl ne ka so any best no 100% gay sa asem de menje bida o so behwe bekom no onipa yo so any best keke no dwemu man nti amafo mo mani nda ho ankasa gay bi ba na be ka cho so oh babe don't worry he's just my bestie enye no kware mo forget sasam they say dem komo ekoso amafo chema the system is working ankasa some be ka evangelist Patricia Odro Cranton asem yi bai na wakazo sa court case ya wodi nuko say operate without vigilance say nkosi baby aba amafo na watwi de sem ankasa mahunu akoso they say they finally court ebu asem wo chema we difo ankasa nti say they to 46,000 Ghana cedis say we operate without license say we krom ha say na say want to me enchia de ene Nana Grada evangelist who bed them 3 years with hard labor. They say there Nana Grada so benyeske you kwako pesiga gari diri abetu ya 46,000 de ende nim na mama yefa video of the week in Brom wa Don Little actor Don Little na wotwa ye say video bi twegu a ono atwika na mafo say Don Little na wo ha isi de nka na enje ndi ya dance so dan bo so betumi akaka na mafo say sa kasa na yakasa ben wa wo hwe pillow bi a Don Little de aguka ya ase a no ankasa TCT so otwika ya na salinko ja wo man fans ni ade Don Little a che so obetumi aye short but eno nche so ontumi nkaka na mama ya fa ya rehusemi ensori so commode actor ejamenu wa munim no onim pe nkofo bebre yi sini na de lowe na chebru wa anum nyina na watwe na beto jasa Yankopon ato ne sa friend woche ma na anka ne ho fa ne kaka ne ho dodo no afedie nyamia fofi anto ata na eja Yankopon anka sa ato ne sa friend acting na yemu bebre ne de be ka eja menu movie bi on the lewin chaya Kennedy Japan wo ka Kennedy bo abaso Kennedy bo adwuma Kennedy me bo abaso ya adwuma daddy and we dey busuafo ade atomani e begina ha so na ya mamo ya akokese pa abranti pa so na ekoye na ye dey abenti so mu maye da se ne amabroni mesanso ababio.
Thanks Amabroni for the segment in Komoho. Now let me pick Nanaya's thoughts on any of the stories. Nana,
I want to.
There's
this thing I about, is it the first deputy speaker saying that he finds
telenovela offensive?
Yes, and also the speaker also saying that
it's corrupting our women.
I think it's very unfortunate how when I come to say it's very delicate because we'll be on chance I'm reading my time frame. But let's look at it from a very open conversation direction, right? What is the Mexican culture in terms of when it comes to marriage, relationship, and what is the Ghanaian culture when it comes to marriage and relationship. Back in the day, when I was a little boy, I remember my uncles used to tell me that so the woman is the source of entertainment. So they say, excuse me to say, they say the two breasts, it's like you are playing drums. They use the two breasts and the down part as entertainment. Until we call it 10, 11. You understand? I think that Ghanaian men, we have to rise to the occasion when our women are also trying to be better, instead of always trying to find ways of making them feel that they need to conform to a certain culture belief. Why am I saying that? If you watch any telenovela in this country, you see how the women dress in this series, right? Yes, it's a movie and some of them are a bit above, but ideally the people who watch these telenovelas on this Adum TV and Peace FM, right? If you're going to be sincere with them, it is helping them than it is confusing or corrupting them.
How is it helping them?
You have a woman whose husband, bad young girls, they are dressed nice. And then I'm feeling it's not exciting. So when he goes out, he wants to go after what he does not see at home. Let's bring it to the cultured homes. Mom, some nuclear family, whatever. The same thing. When you're married and your wife is speaking to you nicely, don't you feel comfortable? When your wife is talking to you in a way that is always championing, is bringing you the best out of you, won't you like it? I think we have to look at the positive side of what is happening on our television with this series than condemning it. You understand what I'm trying to say? When I read the story, I felt a bit sad because it's actually these are two big people. They can't say this they can't say this. They can't have this thinking. You understand? I would want to see my wife wake up in the morning, 5 or looking nice. A woman has to be attracted to the man every single day because you see, most men are driven by what they see. So if he's not seeing that, when he goes out, he will go and look for it elsewhere. And if you bring it to our culture setting, these women are trying to. If Obi was show, oh Mira, me say, a problem because a woman in a Ghanaian setting is not allowed or encouraged to speak up on what they want in terms of love, relationship, romance. Right? A woman does not tell the boyfriend or the husband that when I'm there and it's a problem. She has bruised a man's ego. So these telenovelas are teaching them ways and means that they can manage some of these issues. It might not make sense because it's not a culture setting. But if you look at it from the other lenses, somebody can pick up something to better their homes.
But from where you sit, do you think that the positives outweigh the negatives, or is the other way around?
If it's not for filmmakers crying that their prime time is being given to this Mexican soap operas, what is the negative about it?
That people form opinion based on what they are watching.
Yeah, but you want your movie to be on Netflix, right? Why do you want your movie to be on Netflix? Because you want your culture to travel. You want people to see your culture, your heritage, and respect it and love it and even try it. Why are you saying that beyond the return? Why are you doing that? Why did you do year of return? Why? If you want to do culture exchange, isn't it? Every culture has a negative side and has a positive side. This time around, the men are complaining, and it's not the first time I'm having this conversation. I had it in my office several times. Men are complaining that these soap operas are corrupting the women because it's making a woman wake up in the morning and ask the man that don't give me 10 cedis again, give me 50 cedis. Because I need to do my hair, I need to fix my nails, I need to look clean, I need to buy clothes, I need to be beautiful for you. The man feels say if Asamoah-Baidoo they are, I'm not going to do it. But normal. I'm saying that it is time for Ghanaian men to also rise up to the occasion. And those who watch these telenovelas are like, if I'm not to disrespect anybody, are the maybe very, very low income earners who do hand to mouth issues where if you're in the crown and say once every year.
The market women.
Yes, once every year.
Because when you watch some of these telenovelas, they go to the market and speak to the people. And interestingly, some of these people, they give advice to the characters.
The advice that they are sharing is no, it's not to the characters. See, that's a mistake. You see, there's a way you teach somebody how to fish than to give the person fish. I have also been in that space. I think I had done TV, Busanyum or whatever. We went to one of the marketplaces and they gave us a topic. That time I was managing Anaya, and then they gave us a topic about one of these telenovelas. She didn't want to do it. I'm like, no, you have to look at it from the other angle. If a woman in the market is able to speak to a character that she doesn't know, it means the character has educated her so much so well that we are failing as Ghanaians to do.
So it means that those who are watching are really the people that the advice is going to.
Yes. For instance, say Obi Tama Esmeralda Mone Sunset Beach Mobile and if you're going to be culturally truthful, it also helps us to move culturally towards relationship, love, understanding ourselves as two people in courtship or all those things. That's what these things does. You have to look at it from a different angle. But don't look at it from the very Ghanaian angle of Emano, the way I was trying to power Wakana no Bema or yes, around the panels of Wakana no a beya ofe. Oka for small girl. That's a oda. That's what I was saying in rig now. Now the waba. But you be pay hey. That's the problem in our community right now. You get it? And I find it very, very sad to see these two people look at it from that angle.
We are going on a break. When we return, we'll do Shatta, Wale and Arnold Asamoah-Baidoo, as well as the vetting of Mark Ukreku-Mante's Bloggers Forum on Ghana Web TV. Welcome back. It's Bloggers Forum on Ghana Web TV. I am Abraham Tipa, and today my guest Nanea Redu, aka Nanea 18, he's with OnePlayAfrica.com. So we are looking at the brouhaha, the controversy between Arnold Asamoah-Baidoo and Shatta Wale. Remember, a few weeks ago we discussed Shatta Wale's State of the Industry address, and I remember Nanea actually pointed out some good things about the address, which he said a Ghana media say a marquee, I remember the 3/10, and then the parts where he disagreed with Shatta Wale. So Arnold and Shatta Wale met on UTV. Now before that, Arnold had said that Shatta Wale is a confused artist. He is confused and inconsistent. That's because Shatta Wale has over the years insulted pundits who raised concerns about some of the issues that Shatta Wale tackled in his address, and so he was expecting that Senka Waba Nensem na Yekano Yakadano wedi atema ka obeka se o minianum me pamocho edana me di mo atem no mo fa ncheme, but amanisa. And so when they met on UTV, Arnold maintained his stance. He reiterated the point that Shatta Wale is confused and inconsistent, and Shatta Wale did not, in fact these were the two words Shatta Wale didn't want to hear at all.
Stop that bandana from Ghana talk. Hey, stop that bandana from Ghana talk. You need to be clear. How old are you? How old are you? Wale, you know about that talk? Oh. Who knows this threat?
Never.
This small boy.
Never.
Hey, you want to about that talk? Wale, somebody say what is wrong with. Hey, don't see that. No, mommy. Listen, I want to fight for this thing. They're putting Ghana artists into timidity and fear. I want to fight for this thing. Who's the disrespect? How old are you? Are you older than me? Are you older than me? Are you older than me?
You see that they watch them.
Baby, hello, you don't disrespect. Like you own. God bless you with the right something for internet. So you know. God bless you with the sing. I know. So respect me.
I don't know.
Journalist.
Are you listening? Bro, can you ignore the disrespect? No. Focus on the speech. So let's move on. Let's.
Rules. Blocks and rules. There's a musician, there's a manager, there's a producer, there's a journalist. You see, the problem we have, let's say, some of the artists, now one person may be respected, maybe are presenters.
So that's what happened on UTV, and this has courted controversy. In fact, a number of showbiz personalities have commented on it. Later on, I'll be reading some of the comments, and we'll analyze them as well. But first, let me take Nanea's opening remarks on what has happened so far. What happened on UTV, Nana?
I think the last time we were here, myself and David, after the show.
The story that we did. Now, me cry me GB me home. The intro, Shatta Wale's intro.
I think the intro was beautiful. I think it's the most creative opening.
Mami fans.
No, it is. Obi Bia. People have tendency. Let me tell you something about we as Ghanaians. We have tendency of downplaying or devaluing something that is bigger than our mindset. So, and I will downplay it. Not because it's good, not because it's wrong, it's bad. I can't even tell if it is good or it's bad because it's so saying me. And people will put you in a box in their mind that you should be in this box. And say, if you're not in this box, there, whatever you're doing doesn't make sense to them. The opening you did is what a Jimmy Fallon would do in America. It's what all this Camel and all, that's what they would do. You see, when a president in America comes to do a state of an address, you see how they do it. When they're opening their show, they do it so beautifully. Do you get what I'm trying to say? I'm saying, no. So I'm referring to education. Not because education is sitting in class, but learning to develop yourself, to open up, reading books, to open up your understanding in life. Right? So that opening, anybody who will talk about that opening, I don't know.
Yeah, fantastic the subject.
Fantastic opening. It wasn't easy. Like I said, they want to put you in a certain box by force. What happened on UTV? Shatta went on TV probably to go and do damage control. Because before that, people like myself and other pundits have punched holes in his address. If I'm going on a big platform like UTV for damage control, I was expecting that the team can make handlers, also on pay handlers.
And you say one way down person
can make handlers, but also on pay handlers.
The team.
So the team would have probably, it's like going for vetting. Would have groomed him, thrown some questions at him, play an Arnold, play a Kofi Asamoah, play a Mark Brown, and then let him answer, so that we can finally put to bed the whole thing. Ambanisa, he went there as the normal Shatta Wale, trying to intimidate everybody, trying to get people to speak like him or think like him. So because I'm not saying what you expect me to say, and I'm not thinking as you would have thought, then I will say, "Otetim, now we bought age, now we bought sika, now we bought car, now we bought dying." But my now friend me say, "Me sue you 250 pesos." You get it? Typical Shatta. It's people have come to say that. Ghanaians have come to say. I even heard Arnold say it on radio that. Charlie, I said there was a mechanic. I said mechanic. People say that over the years, this is what he does to get himself in the conversation. So they clap for him for creating content. You see the mindset of Ghanaians. They are clapping for somebody who went to national TV, stood up, shouted on people on top of his voice. The station had to go on break. Say, that is what he does to get himself in the conversation. So therefore, anybody who wants to also get himself in the conversation must do the same. I don't subscribe to that notion. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I think it's shameful to us as media people to even subscribe to that.
But the way his conduct on TV, as someone who has handled an artist before, is it not, or is it insulting for one to say that your artist is confused, he's inconsistent?
Boss, it's not. You see, it's like it's a typical human behavior. I sit here, I'm talking about Shatta Wale, if anybody here comes to me and says, oh, that kind about Shatta, no, you are confused. Truth in my face, I want to defend myself. It's a normal human thing. Do you get what I'm trying to say? It's a normal human thing. Obiasem. The Kamasem there, I will defend it. So the best way to attack is
the best way to defend
is to attack. So that's what he will do. Because confused and inconsistent has never been an insult in our space. Some metia make us and obi me or show YouTube or show Ghana Web TV, right? Oh boy, no can my confused and maintain as papa. Then no. He's not making sense. Is that an insult? No. That's the person's opinion on what I'm saying. When I read some of the comments that comes under the videos, not that some of the stuff you do, it's mostly like that.
Yeah.
The Shatta fans, let me tell you something that they've done recently. They are able to insult people so painfully that they can even say that armed robbers are even alive. And they are killing armed robbers and they are leaving you as a pandit. But somebody cannot tell their boss, or the boss himself cannot understand that somebody is saying that, Joe, the paper you read to us and the things that you are saying and the things you've done in the past, it's like it doesn't tally. You are inconsistent. How is that an insult?
One person who has been at the center of this issue is Hammer of the Last Two. And I'll read his post on social media. He says, what's with all this ugly hate on social media? Confused is disrespectful, no matter how you spin it. And being a journalist certainly gives you no right to call someone confused. If these methods confuse you, let it be known. Because if his methods confuse you, let it be known because...
No. See, you see the Hammer post? When I read it, I was so angry because before, now when I hear conversation be about Black Sheriff and some of the things, articles I hear. So, you see, when you read this thing, yeah, well, Shatta Wale go and confront Bernard Avle. If Bernard Avle has said the same thing, what is Hammer talking about? Bernard Avle is able to talk to the president and tell him that this is wrong. On national TV. What's he talking about? What is Hammer saying? They shouldn't disrespect us because probably we are not a certain Kwame Sifaka or Bernard Avle. You get what I'm trying to say?
Do you think it's because of the personalities involved?
Boss, the response Hammer is giving, I am saying, let's ask him if it was Bernard Avle who has said the same thing to Shatta. What would be his response? It's the personality involved. Again, I say, Arnold, Arnold the Met Frontier in the creative prowess and chair Hammer. But when you read an Arnold piece on music and entertainment, you can tell how deep and how knowledgeable the person is.
Which Hammer acknowledged in his text.
So
he says Arnold is very knowledgeable.
So confused and inconsistent is not an insult. Hammer, you see, when you read the whole thing, I will point, and me and him, we've already had our fair share. So I don't want to go there. Okay,
so for the benefit of our viewers, let me continue. Where it says, if his methods confuse you, let it be known, because that would mean it's relative to you. Nothing wrong with his ways. Nothing wrong if his ways confuses you. Just don't try to generalize it as a tag. It wouldn't be the first time something has eluded another individual in his life. That's actually why there is a saying that people fear what they don't understand. Do you know how many people have been called confused and crazy in history just because they were misunderstood, only for them to change the narrative that eventually went on to influence society for the better? Arnold should know better. A few tantrums and politically incorrect outbursts from Starboy and so what? You forgot we made him this way. The cruelty of this industry swallowed him and spit him out. The only difference here is the fact that he fought back and created success however way possible. What be this? The guy is actually trying to go beyond himself to move the industry into a better space, and you think you know better because of two lame examples of Nigerian generals you cited. Me, myself, I don't agree with the idea of one general to represent Ghana, but can't I have that opinion without being disrespected? Sometimes you guys sound like you wanted to be musicians and it didn't work out. And I can't believe people are celebrating you for being so disrespectful to another human being in the name of what opinion? Nonsense. Are you a psychologist? You people live quietly behind closed doors with your imperfections. And just because someone's life is public, you think you have an opinion. And the people who have taken to social media gloating and thinking someone stood up to the giant, saying Shatta Wale is not intelligent, Shatta the idiot. Arnold owed him on the show, blah, blah, blah. You are just expressing your pain of not being recognized as he is or having his success. Keep quiet and go and hide in your shame. Do you actually think that measurement of wisdom and intelligence is talking, or who can forge the most clever remarks about others? Have you ever seen a self-made successful fool before? That's quite stupidity. That's because stupidity will never allow success to find you. If you don't believe me, do your research. Find a successful fool. Arnold, you'll be my guy, and I've sat on a couple of committees and boards with you. So I'm privy to your level of intelligence and level-headedness. But please, no matter what you think, your disrespectful public utterance of your opinion on another person is rubbish and totally irrelevant and should remain in your head. I'm sorry. The ethics of your trade should teach you better. Considering your basis for your stance of his Ghana High Life part of his speech, nothing he said is consistent with your harsh remarks of confused and inconsistency on his person. You could have easily said you don't agree with him and the matter will make progress, rendering your criticism a constructive one. But no, you want to reiterate to feed your ego as being right. Confused people don't successfully run a business for 8 years continuous with the record of being the hardest working artist we've known in recent times. Only level-headedness brings success and growth. So could Arnold have put his statement any better, like Hama is suggesting?
When the president speaks, those who do political commentary, have you listened to them before?
Yes.
What we say on entertainment platforms like this and others, we don't say anything close to them. We don't even one third for Indru. But you see, I don't blame Hama. Like I said, I blame the media. I blame us because we are saying that Shatta Wale, this is how he gets to be part of the conversation. And that statement from media people saddens my heart. And to say others in the space who are doing so well don't have this same trait. They say creative content. That's the whole problem. It's us. I'm saying that I've watched Bernard Avle on TV, on his show. Even recently about this "So Fix the Country" thing, he did a video to the president, advising the president. Have you watched that video? Have you heard the things he said in that video? How many of us said the things he said in the video? How many of us? How many of us say that? Or what is Arnold's fault? What kind of paper? What kind of paper? Who person young yet tiase? Say you person yet tiase. Ana yanti ana no say one tiase because who can say it doesn't add up. Hama thinks that coming to write in big English and insulting a young man for probably trying to follow his passion is the best way to go as a legend like him. Unfortunately, I don't also blame him because what he wrote got into the media. And we left out a certain kiddie who has an album coming that is doing everything to get our attention, but we are not giving him. A certain Sakwa there who has an album coming that is doing everything to get our attention, we are not minding him. A certain Shaker and Kojoki who have a new song coming, that they are also doing everything that they can, but media is not minding them. When Kojoki and Shaker says Abua Kwasia Sebio, then media will go and follow them. That's the problem we have created. What they are, what's your stupidity?
Yeah.
Stupidity. Now we basically confused and inconsistent. What they will both. But what they ultimately trust stupidity. ego. Hey, what the makers will be person feeding the ego because of what? One over kind word there. Over kind that's a meme. I'm not saying that all your 8 years of hustle in this industry you are confused. I'm saying that when you be aware within the things that you are saying, you know, it doesn't add up. So I can't say that.
In all of this, the one thing that I've noticed is people trying to rubbish the number of years Hammer has stayed in the industry and his contribution to the music industry.
When you come and play in the man, that's what happens.
Yeah. So we should accept that. You're cool with that?
I'm not cool with that. But for him to also descend so heavily on Arnold, for just trying to be a pundit, doing his job, Ahmad could have also done it in a better way. You know what? Don Jazzy and Olamide had a confrontation at a certain Headies Awards. A certain big man in the industry called the two of them to a room. So you guys now peeless, so don't do that in front of people. Oh yeah, settle down. What be the problem? Settle down. Shake hands. Move. The post self was needless because after the show, Arnold and Shatta, they shared videos of them cool off. You saw the videos. You saw the pictures. We agree to disagree, so we move on. You get what I'm trying to say? And so why all this long essay insulting the young guy for what? For what? So that he will say that he will be the next Amade brand that will say, I won't talk about Shatta Wale again. But it comes back to us. Let me say, PR, yeah, to create a stunt, gimmick and all that is part of PR. I respect that. But to take it to the level of disrespect to the same people that you're expecting them to talk about your project, that is, he said after the whole thing that he did it to talk about to promote his album, which is unfortunate because
what's the album no cry I won't drop it.
How the
okay.
It's unfortunate. And Ananka will be treating normal. It's on Ghana web. It's on nobody is discussing it. A lot of boys in the space. You see, let me give you an example. Right? When you travel, TMZ, Gossip, they have a different role to play from Complex magazine in US and Revolt, E-News. Everybody, all the tabloids in abroad have a certain role that they play. Over here, we are all doing the same thing, chasing the same people, chasing the same traffic. Nobody is different. This Shatta Wale thing that happened, before he would have even left the house to go to UTV, TMZ would have reported what he was wearing. The car he would drive, he would sit in to go to UTV because there are paparazzis all over the Star's house reporting daily. That's their own. You have Gossip and all these guys who also sit down and do what we are doing. Then you have the other part who will go into the contents like Genius, who will look at the lyrics of the projection of the album, references to the album, what has been done in the past, what is similar in what is coming, the color scheme of the album, all those things is being done by Genius. You have other platforms like Complex that will look at the lifestyle and the news part of it. Here, all of us are in the same basket, both traditional and new media. We are all chasing traffic and numbers. And see, instead of us to find a way of putting value on the other things around the artist, so that the other artists who cannot do like Shatta Wale will also get our attention, are not getting it. When is the date for Kiddy's album? Do you know?
I think what's the date? 17th. I think it's 25th or something.
24th of June.
Yeah.
You see? How many people use it to talk about it? Because they will tell you that it's not news enough. They will tell you that it's not traffic enough. But let Kiddy be in a different country. Like let's say, let me use the America because I'm gonna say you would have found out the build-up. When Migos were about to release their album, we all saw the build-up. They didn't go and beat any media person. They didn't insult any pundit. They didn't go chasing people and all that kind of thing. But there are other aspects of the tabloids that deals with that. So they're able to project that to the fans. J. Cole being an album, we all saw the build-up. Even a freestyle from J. Cole on a certain radio station went viral. Because there are people in that space who also throw light on those things. And then they believe that the conversation to the TMZs and those guys. But here we are all doing the same thing. I don't subscribe to the fact that somebody was telling me that I was having an argument with somebody. A person said that, like what Hammer wrote, Shatta, and he saved the industry and he moved the industry, and so nobody can tell him he's confused, and then nobody can say A, can say B, can say D to him. Bros, we have been able to accommodate these things. So what can we do? I don't think that being part of a conversation always must be insult.
Okay.
I don't think that being part of the conversation must always be about intimidating others. And by the way, Hammer, in case he doesn't know, the SM guys, the way they insult people is nothing close to confused and inconsistent. Even this morning, I had a report on my desk. My host, Tileke Nipa, was, or it's been attacked till now by SM people. And if I read the comments that one SM guy wrote on her Twitter, tell me, let me read it to you, so that you tell me that if it is close to anything that has to do with confused and
inconsistent.
Listen to what the boy wrote. He said, this girl no get sense. So this girl no get sense oneself. Then he put laughing emoji. With silly opinion that, underline silly. Why this woman is still alive? Meanwhile, armed robbers are killing innocent souls. That's a very irresponsible that's an SM fan comment. Read it. It's nothing close to inconsistent and confused. Me, Nana, I've had my fair share. At a point where I spoke about it, Shatta, this thing, somebody came to my inbox. I can read it to you. Insulted my mother, my dad, told me I would die painful death because I have spoken and I've said that I will mark Shatta 3/10 for his things. So Hammer, the thing you wrote, you see, I'm very cool because, like I said, on Black Series. I'm trying to be very respectful here. I know this is not my brother. He's a colleague in the industry. You understand what I'm trying to say? Once it has gotten to him, it will come to our table. Because that's how these things go. Okay. You get what I'm trying to say? These guys, the things they write on social media. Somebody even wrote a comment recently that I read on one play to the team about a story that we did on Shatta, and the person said the pundit's face looks so hard, like, or say, my kind of tree, or say to a said bunch of saying, almost an apple bone, it's nothing close to confused and inconsistent. Charlie?
Right. Nana, let's take a break. And when we return, we'll do the Makukre Kumante's vetting, which lasted for 2 hours, 20 minutes. It's Bloggers Forum on Ghana Web TV.
From the dawn of time, people have engaged in several businesses. With the onset of technology and innovation, life has relatively been made easier. By using debit or credit cards,
mobile banking.
Thank you. And your favorite, mobile money?
Tech has indeed married business. On BizTech, we spend time with faces behind known and upcoming businesses in the country.
Learn more about the new technologies and innovation,
as well as find out about the trending issues in the world of business.
Join us as we serve you with a variety of compelling interviews, projects, and others right here on Ghana Web TV.
And so we are back. It's the final lap we dedicated to Makukre Kumante's vetting, which happened on June 15. Now he's being vetted as the Deputy Minister Designate for Tourism, Arts and Culture, and when he is approved, Onwaneka and a boss, he will join his boss, Dr. Awal, to steer the affairs. Nana,
Around
2 hours, 20 minutes. I couldn't watch it live, but I watched after the show.
Myself.
Myself. Very, very interesting questions and interesting answers there. I don't know what you make of the exercise.
First off, let me say big up to Mark. He handled himself very well. Like the Honorable said, whoever groomed him for the vetting did a very good job. Also, let me say big up to him for understanding the first rule of the game, acknowledging who your boss is. Because I like the way he consistently referred to Mr. Awa as his boss, and that he follows him. You understand? I remember one of the questions that has to do with, is it the crazy act or something? And then he said that his boss, he follows his boss, and the Honorable asked something about his boss, and he said, yes, since his boss, okay. The Honorable,
he asked if he's your boss, then what is President Akufo-Addo to you?
I like the answer Mark gave.
It was on the studio.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like the answer Mark gave. He held his own, and I was very, very impressed and humbled to have known such a man. For me, as somebody who I've known Okoreku for a long time, I'm not too surprised the way he handled himself, because of such a kind of ambition. So if the day has come, we thank God that everything went according to plan. Hopefully, 80% according to plan, and then they will pass him, and then he can become deputy minister, and then help us to build our industry.
Were you convinced by the answers he gave to the questions that were asked?
I mean, in all honesty, I think that he was prepared for a vetting, and that's what he did. Because it's one thing to have a dream, it's another thing to achieve it. You understand? And it's not because he can't be able to, or they won't be able to do it, because there are other factors that also surround every government when you're in power. There are some factors that limit you from doing what you intend to do. Those ones you can't come to the public and say. You know, when he tried with the fact that the previous government, NDC government, didn't leave anything for the creative arts, he was queried. And that they asked him, a very intelligent one, that where does he work from? He said Accra Information Center. And they asked him who built it. You know, that's also a way of leaving something behind, because you have a place to work. You understand? So the things that Mark said, and the things that the ideas and the visions and things that he said, to me, I feel that it is more or less like I had to go for the vetting and pass. Because we've heard similar things from the government before. A lot of the address from the finance minister, budget reading, we've heard things bigger than that. And then at the end of the day, nothing happens. We are here, we are still waiting for the theaters to be built. You get it? And a few other promises that were made for the arts industry. One thing I found fascinating in the conversation is that I was impressed with the honorables when they mentioned to him that all his quote unquote experience has been around music. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
I was very impressed. I was very, very impressed, because then they took time to check him out. And it also gave me another part of the conversation that it's something that we have to look at as an industry. Right? Every part of the industry is important. Therefore, they all deserve equal attention. We might not be able to give some equal attention because it's not commercial value enough to drive sales of traffic and commercialization of product and all that. But if we make a conscious effort in promoting activities in that areas, it will help. Because from the conversation that the honorables were having with Mark, you realize that they didn't just limit him to music. I remember the first opening question was about how Ghanaians lie freely. You employ a carpenter or a mason. You had a question.
Yeah.
And he used culture. You know, the habit of lying is becoming a culture. So how is Mark going to use his space to correct that? So media and then would be attempt our my content in Kwan and my traffic. And my subscribe to the fact that Senipani di attempt as of my content and my traffic there and then that is his PR gimmick. When we give people like that the chance, they do it more. You know what I'm trying to say? This vetting, I know say, you know, funny enough, I told somebody in my office that, I told Nicholas that this vetting won't go anywhere in media. It won't. Have you heard media people dissect the vetting?
Well, probably it's too early.
Why is it too early?
It just happened yesterday.
What are you talking about? You're speaking like the boy in my office. He said, oh, boss, it's too early. I said, why is it too early?
I said, probably it's too early.
Why? Don't you have friends? Don't you have a website?
Of course.
Aren't you writing?
We carried it.
How many sites have you written from that?
Oh, we've written a lot.
How many
I'm
people?
speaking for Ghana.
Yeah, so how many have you seen?
I've seen other websites too.
How many?
It may not be as you are expecting, but
I
at least
think
they
you
covered
guys
it.
and Kwame Dazi did well. Kwame Dazi also did very well in trying to break down like certain parts of the conversation. As to how influencers as industry people, influencers will pick it up and drive that, it's not as equal as a certain Shatta Wale calling our colleague saying it should say 250 pesos. Value in Ghana, like I told you earlier, value in Ghana is a problem. What am I saying? Oh, Nana, we've done it in the past. Even the government comes to meet budget, they say things, we do the breakdown, we talk about it, nothing happens. Yes, it's true. But the more we do it, it also gets to cover up for others to know that there are other side of the industry that needs attention. So the more you do it, Shatta Wale has been doing it to us for how many years now? And we've always been talking about him. We've always been doing it. But why is it that when it comes to this part of the industry, you can't company you can't say, oh, see, I can't shamba. But Shatta Wale did the attempt there. You ever can't ever cost station, no be a kind of same thing. No be a friend. No, you say, I'm in the news. I know that maybe Mark cannot speak to the media now. I don't know, maybe. But we could have, I feel that we could have done more than we did. Immediate videos of analyzing, we shouldn't wait for our normal show day to do, because this is, if something happens in Shatta and Arnold, and I get calls from radio station to say, we want your opinion on it. I'm expecting the same stations to call me and say, Mark, you're really betting. What I say. This question from this honorable minister, what do you think about it? This question, let's challenge ourselves in the industry a bit.
You've mentioned that the people on the panel said that Mark's background has been music, which of course shows that they did, more of research about him.
No, it's
yeah. Would you say that the questions that were asked him were apt, or there were things they could have pushed further?
I cannot say. I think the questions that were asked were questions that had to be asked or wanted to be asked. I can't say whether it was apt or not, because Mini will be a team.
Okay.
You feel me? And it is our own going for a bet. I didn't wait to me ask many questions. You feel me?
Yes.
So I think every honorable's question that went to Mark is something that is on their mind. Like I said, they open up our industry.
The reason I'm asking that is sometimes there are comments that politicians do not know about our industry and that they don't care. And in fact, there's been instances where
they don't know about the music, not the arts and culture. Don't get it wrong.
Okay.
Because it's a politician or GTA is under the government, right?
Sure.
They're the one champion, and they've done a successful campaign with year of return and beyond the return. Successfully. They have also championed Ghana as a home of tourists properly, like tourism properly. So we can't say that, and I always tell people that the tourism sector is well put together than our side. Because GTA can tell you the number of members it has, where they are located. Because Obia got this stamp in Obia call renewal. Oh, to one place or another, renewal there. They know all these things. You feel me? So that side, that arts, that tourism side, dear. You can't say they know. Baby, maybe I see each other, and maybe I won't say too much. But you can tell on the line of questioning that they see our sector bigger than how we see it.
True.
They see it bigger than how we see it. Because, see, for a honorable to use the Ghanaian culture of lying to ask Mark, so how would you help with yours to solve it? Tells you how they see the sector. And who sector and say, I'm a attempt say traffic. So I think that we are to be blamed.
Would you say we should lower our expectations
for Mark?
For Mark.
Unfortunately, my answer would be yes. It's 4 years. 4 years now. Year one in Kahun, so I got 3 years. And like I said, in every office, there are factors that will limit you from doing what you really want to do. And those ones, you can't come out and say them. It's like, before you came to Ghana, you had a certain perception about Ghana. You saw yourself in a certain light. Telling me call Ghana way. Telling me do Ghana way, but the measure pan. Yo, I'm going to champion. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. You sit in your first chair, and you go for your first meeting, and you meet your first problem, and then you realize that all the things I brought, I have to unlearn them to learn new things. You get it? That's one part of our industry that people don't want to accept. That every office in this country has limitations, challenges. Some of them are beyond the people who work in that space control. But I'm happy that the first rule is that Mark has accepted that the boss nyawa, and he follows him. It gives him peace in his mind. 1. 2, it's a big achievement for him. He's gotten to where probably the first step of becoming somebody big in politics. So what do? And I need to manage what I have and also save face. I have 3 years left. What can I do? So that I can use that as a reference point to say, in the next 4 years, if my party comes to power, I want to stand for this and champion the A, B, C, D. Because when I had 3 years in power, this is what I was able to do. In our industry, we overlook that too, and then we start to say, "Oh, like what some judge was trying to do to him." You understand?
Yeah.
So I don't have any higher expectations. I think the year is almost gone, right? And 3 years more already. They've been able to sign a deal with GT Bank to support the industry with $100,000. Obviously, these are some of the things that they can be doing, creating access to funds that can support the system. But the politician has shown us that your system is bigger than how we see it. So if we are also going to start to see it as big as they see it, maybe now we can go. You see, music, they say, is not contributing to the GDP, right? What about the tourism sector?
It is.
Can we do the mathematics from there? That's what I deduced from the conversation.
Okay.
That they were showing us that, listen, you guys are looking at things like it's from one way too much. Guys, open up. I might say, money, data, but more data was tourism sector. So how do we use the tourism sector method framework to build the others? How did the Ghana Tourism Authority build this such that we be able to look at this stamp? Who's for sale only stamp from GTA? How did they do it? Are we talking to Mr. Ajiman to tell us how he did it? So that Musica, who also want to organize data when it comes to its music members, can use that same framework to work. So that those artisans and things who are also in the other part, we can duplicate, we can become a Me Too marketing plan to use that Me Too, and build and organize all our data and now begin to do the mathematics. So we can have different conversations with the government. Instead of, you see, Mark said something in his thing. He said, they asked him, how is he going to raise funds? He said elsewhere, philanthropists. You heard it. Dash people things. It's true. But elsewhere too, that same elsewhere, the system has been built to create revenue and pay tax. I have a friend who works in a radio station in America. So their mother company, that they are all registered to. If it was Ghana, let's say Gamro, the system is able to send them commercials. You see the thing? So you can't come and tell me that you are a small online radio. You don't have adverts playing. So the system is able to generate revenue to share. So you can be able to pay your tax. So you can be in operation to employ people. That formula, GTA is doing it. How can we look at that formula and duplicate? You feel me?
Yeah.
Charlie.
So it's interesting conversation. Now there were a few media. There were a few showbiz personalities who were invited or who accompanied Mark to the vetting. His referee, Uncle Ebuhite, was there. Roman Productions. Wendy Shea was there. Kwame Eugene was there. Samini was there. Who else? There was also
Bullet was there.
Bullet, yes, Bullet was there. Anthony was there. There's one name that has escaped me, but these were some of the industry persons that were at the vetting to support Mark Okreku Mante. Nana, final words. Na afiye yempong.
Mark's vetting has showed us that we look at our industry from a very small lens. Mm-hmm. We don't look at it from the bigger picture. If all of us in the space will stop our individualistic and personal gains in the business, and begin to open up the industry, we will get more things to report on, more things to do, more things to say, to get us traffic, equal traffic, to run our platforms. Once upon a time, pundits were not in vogue like now. Everybody begins a show, they want to go for a celebrity to drive the show. Whoever got the vim and started putting fellow reporters or journalists on the show as to speak on entertainment did a good job, because it encouraged others. And then now, media people in entertainment, we became the news that we create. So in the we can say we are. I like to send them a link and say, well, story from you. It's not from a star. It's the same.
Oh, but you are a star. That's Jai. Oh, Jai.
It's Arnold who's a star.
Jai. Someone who contributed to Guru's success. Naneya, recently Kofi Jama, Koso. Who else?
Your system is
Masa. Jai.
To recognize all of us.
Nana Jai. Though the Meso a star. Minam Diasio, we a star. We a star, Masa Twaso.
System.
I don't know my guru karaoke. La Paz to Utah. Now we wait the house on your star. Now on your star say. Hey, that's that. Hey.
But I mean, that's on the right hand. I'm saying that our industry is bigger than how we see it. And then no one to industry. And yes, no one nature was industry. Now I thought these guys who do the kente, he would have, because he had time to prepare for the race. He would have made these guys winning kente paper, you see, and then maybe a better caddy, but we are creative people. I don't know. Maybe he wasn't allowed to do that. No, I expect him to be creative in giving the people
vetting the panel.
Yes, up to experience what we do. That it's not only music that we sing. So because you see, Uncle Ebo, when he say Bullet, Kwame Eugene, Samini, it's a small sector. That one they didn't even go there. They took us to the other side. And see, artists are needed to be on. Kakrebi effort, say metallic effort. Then after the vetting, honorable from the people in the creative arts, we appreciate you for holding us. This is something for you guys to put in your office. But everybody will get one. It's indirectly it's lobbying to win the thing. That if he's allowed to do that.
Yeah.
If he wasn't allowed to do it, I think he held his own. He spoke well. He was well trained for the vetting, and we wish him all the best. 3 years. We hope that he'll be able to build certain foundation for himself for his bigger dreams in politics. And yeah, we move on from there.
All right. That's Nani Aredu. He is the director of OnePlayAfrica.com. We'll be back some other time with yet another, I don't know whether to use the word again, riveting discussion on Bloggers Forum here on Ghana Web TV. I'm still reminding you, we are celebrating our 22nd anniversary, hashtag Ghana Web 22. Join our road safety campaign. It's hashtag Ghana Web Road Safety. Let's reduce the rate of accidents on our roads. If you have any story to share about accident, kindly get in touch On social media, everywhere, we are at the Ghana Web, Or send us a mail, newswires@ghanaweb.com, newswires@ghanaweb.com. Let's all come together and help reduce the rate of accidents on our roads. Thank you for watching Bloggers Forum on Ghana Web TV. I am Benefo Boabin Abrantipa.